All right. Welcome to GUFON, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is January 27, 2025, and it's a Monday. What is it, Monday? It's Monday. Is it? It's Monday. Holy shit, I thought it was Tuesday. Then I remembered the trash goes out on Monday. All right, welcome to Trash Monday. Tonight, I'm not getting the volume. Something's going on with the headset again. It's the connection on the microphone that makes this. Anyway, slept another day. My schedule is completely reversed. I can't, I go to bed now late. I go into bed 1:30, 2 o'clock, and lay there. Fall asleep for an hour or two. Wake up. Talk to some people, say hello. I'm up. I said I only slept 2 hours. Fall back to sleep after I get ready for the day. And then I'm waking up at noonish in the clothes I was supposed to go out in and work in. And now I woke up. I didn't eat. I'm really, really hungry. And this is annoying me, having half the volume working on my ear. But anyway, so we're here. If I touch it, it'll turn me off. Might be better if we're off. Tonight I want to talk about compartmentalized ufology and karma in ufology. A lot of people, like myself included, how the hell do these people sleep at night, knowing they're lying to us? I'll give you a for instance. Greer said, we're going to have disclosure. It is guaranteed. 2-3 days. Nope. Now, you can't say disclosure is subjective. You can't. No. Yes, people have their ideas of what disclosure really is, but what it really is the disclosing of all government, not you or I. This is government. Government secrets, government cover-ups, government lies about aliens and UFO technology. What do they know? Where is it? Who are they? How'd they get here? What'd you figure out? Did you back engineer and make them? Are we crashing or are they? That's disclosure, not, well, we're talking about it, so it happened. No, man. Elizondo said we're halfway through disclosure. Which part? Because if we ain't getting evidence, we ain't any partially through. No, you have to have evidence. Verbal, written, redacted. It's not evidence. It shows coercion. I don't give a flying frog's fat ass. It doesn't tell me anything. It's like when a cop arrests you, they're supposed to have what's called reasonable articulatable suspicion. RAS, R-A-S. Like, in ufology, we don't have that. We just say it and it becomes true. There's nothing that holds anyone responsible for their lies, their actions in this field, good or bad. It's sad. And tonight I want to talk about those people who are getting away with literal murder of a subject because of their selfishness, their narcissistic behavior. Now, there is good narcissistic behavior and bad. Good narcissistic behavior, Greer's bad. Corbell, very bad. Now, Greer and Corbell are about neck and neck, I'd say, in the bad. Yeah, they both do an equal share of bullshit. Sorry, Dorothy. I know you have a certain, for lack of a better word, tie to Greer and his history. So do I. I interviewed him. Nothing compared to what you did, but Yeah, Dorothy actually, I think, what, you transcribed all of the witness testimony for Greer in 2001? Something like that? Pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, Dorothy knows a lot, guys. Dorothy could be, no, and I'm not joking around. You know, if Dorothy played her cards a different way, she might have been my, I know, I'm just saying that. She would be ufology's Danny Sheehan without the lawyer tag. That's who you are. In my mind, you have certain uh, information, maybe, that we don't have. I don't know if that's true. I never even asked you because it's not my business, but I'm confident you probably know more than the average Joe when it comes to this. And you may say, no, I really don't. No, you do. Dorothy. Dorothy's Men in Black. Welcome to the show, Dorothy. Let's do a little roll call anyway. Dorothy, how are you? Thank you for the $2 super chat. Yes, folks, GUFON does survive solely on you. I don't do the ad shit. I do it on Rich Saves America, but here we never put ads. But I survive because of your help, your support, and you know what to do. All the links are in the show description. Thank you, Dorothy, for leading the way tonight, as does Jeanette and David Wilcox and a bunch of you guys. Brooke is. Everybody does. David Wilcox and Wilcox. Welcome to the show, Dorothy. Glenn Collins, dude, thank you very much for hanging out, being here. That's the hugest support of all. Paula Faust, welcome to the show. You too. F Graph 72, you guys have been here. You're the core, and I love you for doing this, hanging out every night, pretty much, for the most part. Brookers, huh? I didn't use the accent that time. Brookers. Brookers, huh? Oh, there we go. The gyro, not the J. It's a hard G. Gyro. I asked. That's how I know. Welcome to the show, Gyro. F-A-P-U-R-D-A-Y. Night. F-A-P-U-R. Remember that song? Saturday night. Saturday night. The Bay City Rollers. I gotta go. I, cause it's rock and roll. Remember? Well, the giddy up porn star, rock star, some star, Saturday night. Flubber Lane, everybody. Flubber Lane. Welcome to the show. Teresa Pulio, welcome to the show. How do you say hello? Hello, ciao. Ow. Tony, what do you say there, Chief? It's a T-O-N-Y. What's up, who cares? I almost picked my nose. What's up, who cares? Who cares? Pick your nose. Welcome to the show. Marcel, Goofonian Metalhead. Welcome to the Paul Callaghan Fowler. Welcome to the show. And David Wilcox, not Wilcox. Welcome to the show. All right, if I didn't say your name, it doesn't mean I don't love you. It means we do have a lot of show to do. UFO 91. What do you say? Welcome to the show. Sithemi! How you doing, Sithemi? Welcome to the show. All right. For those of you sneaking through that back door, Alfie Joe Bob just made it in. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Bernie, what do you say, Bern? Rustic. How you doing, Rustic? Rustic. Thor Panku, coming in at the 15. Love it. Let's get started. We were waiting for you, Thor. Without Thor, we close the door. We say goodbye, 'cause we are bored. All right, guys. You know, I'm thinking of changing everything. Everything. Wearing a tie, changing the background, finally painting everything, making this a totally different name. Start a whole new? Nah, never do that. Let's talk. Well, I know, this week, last week, I ended by saying the drone show is over. It's over. Once Trump got inaugurated, it didn't end. It's just mainstream media ended their participation in the stories. Why? We don't know still. And I've speculated so much, I'm kind of like, I don't know what else to say at this point. But other people still have ideas. Other people still think they know. Do you remember a few years ago when Joe Rogan had that show, Joe Rogan Questions Everything? Something like that. He said when he did that a few years ago, how the evidence for UFOs is just all talk. It's all ideas, is nothing, no actual evidence, he said. But what has changed? Better talk? Better ideas? Because there's still no actual evidence, which I'd love to see if it existed, he says. Just stories and blurry images. I agree. Although, I agree. I don't know what else to say. I want to say more. Let's hear what the JR said a few years ago. I almost put up a funny picture. Go.
Several months and constantly interviewing people who believed in outlandish things. I found the same thing over and over and over again. Illogical people with very little evidence, believing things in almost a religious way. And I found it with Bigfoot, and I found it with UFOs, and I found it with chemtrails, and I found it with, it was just one after the other in varying stages of ridiculousness. Mm-hmm. I feel like contrails and chemtrails were the most nutty people. The UFO people seem to be the most reasonable because it's the most reasonable theory. Yeah. Out of all of them, the idea that we have spaceships, why doesn't someone else have spaceships? There's hundreds of billions of galaxies in the known universe, hundreds of billions of planets in each galaxy. The odds of there being some sort of a life form out there is pretty high.
And the odds of a life form being close to us is even higher. What's even higher is a life force with the ability to have the technology exact same time we evolved into this technological place in history. It is so hard because now you have to wonder, okay, there are civilizations, they're out there, but when did they exist? Are they still existing? And will we exist long enough to see any of it? And I always thought, as big as the universe is, it's done this way on purpose. So we don't ruin their reality, and they don't ruin ours. And we all get to play in the same sandbox. We're just in separate corners of it. And I think that's smart. Why is the universe built that way? Because there's an infinite? Is it infinite? An infinite number of anything can exist at any time, I think. And if you could have something that can exist the same time you do, and it's able to make it to where you are, the chances of it taking over you and your planet for resources is a strong possibility. Let's say you and I went to Vega. I'm just using it because of the movies, Contact. Now, we're going to need the resources on that planet. But what if their politics say, no, you got to purchase it. Well, we don't have any money. Oh, well, that's just too bad. Now you're new to this planet. You need to be a citizen of our planet. Now, I know that sounds weird because they would have to have the same politics we do at the same time, living and existing at the same place. The odds of it happening are so extreme. It's so unrealistic that it could actually happen. Why do we even wonder about it anymore? It's impossible. They're going to have to find us. That's that. And for us to find technology, their technology would have to interfere with the universe somehow so we can see the signal, a frequency, a bright flash, something. Oh my God, we are so far away from knowing shit. I can't believe it. I really can't. If you think about it that way, the odds are so slim and it makes me sad. But it's done that way on purpose. Well, the way you're describing it, it doesn't seem like there's a heaven or hell. I don't know.
But there's nothing. That's the craziest thing. Like, the more I talked to these people, the more I went over all their evidence, air quotes evidence, the more I asked them why they believe things. There is nothing. There's not a goddamn thing that you can put on a scale. There's not a thing that you can weigh. There's not a thing that you can measure. There's not a thing that you can look at a photo and go, wow, that's compelling. There's not one. It's just an idea. And that idea is that there's something in the sky that flies around that we, either might catch if you're there, the right place, the right time, or not, and that they're from another planet. But
yeah, if you look at what they put forward as the best evidence, it's often like
it's nothing.
Cases from the 60s where there's an eyewitness who said something. Like there was some guy on a road who says he blacked out and his car got messed up.
It's always that.
From the 60s.
Well, that's the other thing that I know too much about psychedelic drugs. And I know about endogenous psychedelic drugs, the brain producing this chemical called dimethyltryptamine that happens when you're sleeping. Now, they've proven that this stuff is produced in the liver and in the lungs, and they believe it's now, they've got evidence that it's produced in the pineal gland. It's a very potent psychedelic drug that your brain produces, and your brain produces it during REM sleep. So these people, they all take naps. And during these naps...
Oh, yeah, we talked about this yesterday. All right, we're going to end this. Now, the thing is... Oh, no. Yeah, let's end it. That's a good place to end that. That's silly. That's right. That was a silly comment Joe Rogan made. When you're talking for 3-4 hours, sometimes you just say shit, so it comes out weird. I don't know what he meant when he said that, but I think what he was trying to say is these people are older and they take naps during the day. And when you take a nap and you're tired, you can go into REM sleep like almost instantaneously. That's true. Have you ever fallen asleep and dreamed you were falling and then wake up like that within seconds? Yeah, because you're already there. It's weird. But Joe's right. What if that chemical, ditryptamine, what if it takes you to reality? Yeah. I want to believe this. I want to believe when we dream, we're taken to our home, our reality for real. And we're taken there because we need to go home. Every day we're away from it here. So when we go to sleep and we dream, we're dreaming, the reality that should be. But that can't work either. Because I've died in those realities. Unbelievable. Can't be true. Yesterday I mentioned, was it yesterday? Yeah, Jake Barber, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed bald guy who just told us he knows that aliens are real and all this shit. And he says over the next several days we're expected not only to move the needle, but reach the tipping point. Now that was 2 days ago. Is your needle moving? He says, here what you can expect. And then he lists a bunch of shit that did. I'm going to leave that post up. I left it up on purpose. So every day we can go back to it and remind each other how nothing's happening. Okay, now I don't have a problem with Chris Leto at all. But sometimes because he's on that side of ufology, he says some things that just don't jive. But then he says some things like, oh, well, maybe he knows something, but he's just like us. He hears things from people who say they're in the know, and then you're gonna listen to this. This is him on Disclosure. This is Chris. Hey, he's a little an influencer now, right?
A former F-16 pilot here. 2024 was just a terrible year for UAP disclosure, but looks like in 2025 now we're just seeing the dam literally break. We've already had Green Berets come out. Livelsberger was a Green Beret. John Blitch was also a Green Beret. He supported Jake Barber, and now we've had Jake Barber, firsthand whistleblower, come out along with Fred Baker, another special operator. So we can
Oh yeah, I forgot. Tomorrow we'll do the Fred Baker
stand
one.
by for those long form interviews.
I think they're out.
We had Trump yesterday just sign the release of all records related to JFK, RFK, and MLK assassinations. And then listen to this quote from Jay Stratton.
Oh no!
I've seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
He was the UAP task force leader. Think about that. From Jay Stratton.
I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
Notice how he doesn't blink?
Non-human craft and non-human beings.
Can't blink when you lie. You either blink incessantly. Is that how you say it? Excessively? Incessantly? Well, I know. I'm trying new words out this year. Jay Stratton is the root. Now, this is just my opinion. But Jay Stratton is the reason all these stories sound the same. Started years ago. 2004 maybe? 5? 6? 15? I'm sorry. So, we haven't seen much of John Blitch. I think I played a clip or two. But former Special Forces operator Dr. John Blitch discusses whistleblowers David Grusch, whatever, and Jake the Hairless Barber. Jake the Hairless Barber has nothing to do with anything. Just that he says he lost all of the hair on his body because of his interaction. There was no interaction. It was just him carrying something, an egg, to its destination. And he says it talked. Anyway, here we go.
Man. And again, a hero by any standard.
This guy's head is going to fall off. He keeps shaking it left up. Blah, 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 blah. Look at this guy.
Grusch or Grusch. I mean, we used to call him Dave Grusch.
Wait, he just said Grusch or Grusch. I'm sorry, Thor.
Grusch or Grusch. I mean, we used to call him Dave Grusch. Now folks call him Dave Grusch. He's like, call me whatever. He's such an approachable guy. He's a wonderful man. And
it's because you didn't know who he was.
Again, a hero by any standard in my mind. But Dave was struggling, obviously, after all the folks that came after him, and he suffered horribly after that.
Hey, fat turd.
So, but, again, even post PTSD, right? So like a P3 PTSD, right? He wanted to encourage others to come out, not just to benefit him, right? It helped him because a lot of the criticism against him was, hey, look, you didn't see a craft, you didn't see an alien. How can you be claiming this, right? And so,
right,
it's just the classic narrow-minded people that can't.
Oh, it's the narrow-minded people. Oh, you mean the people that want evidence? Oh, you mean the people that want first-hand witness accounts, not somebody who heard it from another guy who knew a guy? Wow, this is really who I am so happy these people were in the government. This is why our government sucks. This is why nobody trusts them. This is why we can't bridge the gap between citizens and them. Because they talk like this silliness. Very silly. We're narrow-minded now. Because we don't want to hear from a third party, fourth party. We want to hear from a first-hand account. Forgive us for wanting evidence, ass face.
Can't, embrace other information outside their narrow, soda straw. So
listen to that whole comment again.
You didn't see an alien. How can you be claiming this, right? And so, it's just the classic narrow-minded people that can't,
look at fat turd down there. Yeah.
Embrace.
Look at that shit donut eating grin.
Other information outside their narrow, soda straw. So Dave reached out to me and said he knew some other folks who did.
So why was David Grusch such a good guy? Why would people get mad at a good guy?
Have firsthand knowledge, but they were very worried because of the backlash that could be taken against them.
And they should be. Absolutely. They should be, Slick Dick. Boy, that guy's Dr. John Blitch, Dr. John Bitch. What a little snowflake. Of course he's on Fat Turd Show. They won't come on my show. Maybe I'll reach out to him. See if Bitch wants to come on and explain himself. How David Grusch doesn't deserve the treatment he got. What? His alleged death threats? Give me a break. Nobody will even tell us who those death threats are from. Oh, we can't do that. Oh, we don't want them to know we know. They already know you know. Well, we don't want the public to know because it could be, they could sue us if we put their name. They threatened your life. How could they sue you? Who threatened your lives? Elizondo, Grusch. These guys are the biggest bullshitters. Yeah, people say it all the time. Fuck off, Elizondo. I'd kick his ass. People say that shit all the time. I want fucking proof. I want proof, but they'll never give it. Because they're weak, narrow-minded individuals who work for a government under a script that they had to memorize to lie to the American people. Oh, this guy Giordano, what an idiot. He thinks we're lying to him. Where's your proof? Everything you said is bullshit, alleged, hypotheses, theories, whatever you want to call it. That's who they are. And you see how they turn it on us? We're the narrow-minded. We're so narrow-minded, we can't think outside the box. No, we're going off of what Grusch said. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything with my own eyes. What the fuck are we doing talking to you then? Well, I heard you. And this dicklick, Mr. Bitch, Dr. B, thinks that we're closed, narrow-minded. What did Hillary Clinton call the douchables? What were they? Yeah, biodegradables. This is so much fun to me. And you know what? Karma is supposed to be the theme. Karma does come back and get these people. It does in its own way. You and I may not even know about some of the things that are happening to these people. Hey, karma came after me. I have years of bad throwing up for all the bad things I've done. It's still happening. Karma gets us all. I know, it's just chance, right? Eventually something bad's going to happen. I get it. But this karma, it's happening kind of quick. Yeah. I just want people to know what I know. Well, what do you know, Grusch? Well, I know a guy, and after looking into it, he seemed to be telling the truth. These funds, this NHI, these craft, they're pilots. I mean, there's something going on. Allocated funds going from some place to another place illegally, I'm guessing. And the American public needs to know why. Because the government's been hiding this. What do you think for? I don't know, but it's got to be political. Why else wouldn't the government give us the information that aliens are here? Well, maybe because there's no proof. So you're saying my friends, my whistleblowers are lying? No, we're saying they're scripted and there has to be a threat, because without the threat, how does the government get the funds constantly for their secret government projects? I said it before and I'll say it again. Now that we're all privy Everybody knows there's black budget programs at this point. Nobody can say there isn't. Why don't we just do this, Congress? Give them the money. Jesus, $200 billion, I think, went to the Ukraine war, which has been now, the funds have been shut down. Thank you, Trump. There's no reason for us to fund another war. That's not even our business. Oh, it is our business, my father tells me. We got to be the police of the world. If Putin goes and does that to the Ukraine, then what next? Us? No, he just wants that. He wants what's owed to him. Ukraine lied to him. Oh, so you're all for it? No, not at all. Wow, that's weird. I never said that. But the U.S. doesn't have any rights until it becomes a U.S. problem. Well, it's all political. It's a U.S. problem all the time. How would you like it if Putin did the same thing and gave money to China to build a border around Taiwan and we can't do anything about it? Well, that's just ridiculous. Nobody can build a... I know, it's hypothetical. That's what we're doing. We're robbing from Peter to pay Paul, to pay Paul, to pay Peter back, which never happens because why? We're the police of the world. And if we're the police of the world, then we should have the funding to give to these black budget programs. Now, my point, I think, is valid. I think at this point, there shouldn't have... We know they're out there. We know that there's some shady going on in the world, in the skies, in the water. Everybody's aware of it now. So why is it that we need to be secretive about the funds at this point? And the whistleblowers, get evidence or get out, you know? Ryan Graves talks about the drones over East Coast. I think he's saying these technologies are from a different being. What the hell's gotten into them? Thank you, Trump, again, for getting rid of the woke programs in the military. Because that's what happens. You get irrational thinking. He says they are fitting this category of exhibiting advanced capabilities beyond the state of the art and very much fit the bill of a UFO. He says UAP, I changed it. I don't even need to play this, but I will.
Difficult time detecting these on radar, on infrared. They're not having luck determining a source location based off of RF transmissions. So, you know, whoever is operating these seems to be exhibiting, you know, technology of a different form, right? We'd have to assume that these are very sophisticated.
That's not true at all. We have yet to see any video of any drone or any technology making 90-degree turns, cloaking, morphing, splitting into objects. None of that's happened.
Sophisticated unmanned.
It's amazing the lies that just literally keep pouring out of their mouths. It is beyond amazing to me. Beyond. Because I have yet to see those videos. Even radar, I haven't even seen any radar showing any of those amazing maneuvers and capabilities that they keep talking about. It just doesn't. If they went in a straight line and went fast, to me, that's bullshit. I don't give a shit. We've got hypersonic rockets that do that. Okay? Now, if you got a rocket that goes from zero to 30,000 and then goes backwards almost in an instant. All right, now I'm impressed. Now I'm curious. Haven't seen that. We haven't seen anything. Sorry, just we have not.
Systems that are utilizing advanced signal management that's defeating multi-band detection systems. So again, is that a criminal activity doing that? Is that coming from phantom ships? I those don't seem very likely when you kind of add up all those pieces. And I think that's where it leaves us with the big question mark. I don't think we can rule out an adversary at this point necessarily. We certainly can rule in a lot of misidentification once the media picked it up. But where does that lead us with the ones that don't fit that bill?
They all fit that bill. They all fit that bill. You just said it yourself.
We don't have that answer yet. I think it's premature to make the assumption that because we can't identify them, they must be quote unquote aliens. But
right.
They are fitting this category of exhibiting advanced capabilities.
No, they're not.
Beyond
no, they're not.
The state of the art, and very much fit the bill of a UAP.
Nope.
And
nope.
I think it's important to remember that this started in 2022 at Langley Air Force Base. Happened again in 2023 at Langley Air Force Base, same time period.
Gee, I wonder, is it happening because of Langley Air Force Base?
And Langley Air Force Base is, essentially the Air Force equivalent of the base I was operating at. It's only separated by about 100 miles, which is basically nothing in the air. So this is like an adjacent sister airspace to where we were having all these incidents from 2013-ish to even today. So can we tie them together? It's I don't think we can definitively make that.
Nobody's done it. Nobody's tried
right now, but it's, that's what adds to, I think, the mysteriousness of this event that's occurring. It's happened over years. It's been adjacent to areas that have had reports of this for nearly a decade, if not longer. And we're still no closer, it seems, to understanding what they are.
You got that right. Hey, I wanted to thank a few people while we're running through the show tonight. I want to thank you guys for hanging out here at GUFON. You can help support Truthology for UFOlogy like a few of you have. I see we had a new member. Now, it's not showing up on my end. The membership here, I have to go here. Nor did any super chats. I hear the bells going off. We got Dorothy, who threw down $2. I think we got that one, right? And I'm waiting for it to catch up here and skim through all these wonderful chats. Thank you guys for hanging out. You can help support. I mean, we really are. We need more shows telling the truth. And it's not as I see it. It's the truth. Until evidence happens, right? We need evidence. Nobody's bringing evidence, right? What's up, Jeanette? I don't know. Weren't you here already? I guess not. That's it. All right. Let me see here. What's this? Bernie Muro. There you are. Hey, Bernie, thank you very much for the $5. $5 super chat. I think that one showed up. Yep, there it is. Hey, man, thanks for your support, continuing support on GUFON. Geez, if we can do 40 to 50 a day, man, that would really make this show so much better. It really would. Can do more stuff. All right. Bernie, thank you for the $5. It's a super dono, a donation with no comments. That's love back to the host and the people here. It's a super dono. Thanks, Bernie. Appreciate the $5. Dorothy as well, and anybody who else. Somebody became a member. I don't see it, but I want to thank anybody. Oh, wait, hold on. I can go over here. I guess I could check it out. Hold on. Let's see. Let's go into switch accounts, get rid of that, go into settings, go here. All right, here we go. Bernie, Dorothy, Professor Falcon. That must have been yesterday. Let me see. Yeah, that was yesterday. Thank you, Professor Falcon, Dorothy, and Bernie. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Okay. I didn't see any members, but thank you if you became a member, whoever that was. Give them, hey, Lee Bembry with the very big, see, this is how it shows up on my end. Isn't that shit? I hate that. And it's probably beautiful. Let me go see and take a look at what you designed here with all that. Oh, that's not bad. That's cool. Thank you very much, Lee Bembry. It looks like it's a mess on my end, right? But it's not. It's Trophies Popcorn. You got that right. Simon from Dublin, how are you? Says, hey, Rich and the kids. My kids, you know, we lost one because of the cold and we didn't have enough money for heat. That's why we need support. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's get back to work. Back to work. Tom, how you doing? Hey, you know, it's rare that we ever bring celebrities' ideologies into ufology. Dan Aykroyd was very big 20 years ago in the field, and then he just dropped out. He made one movie, didn't do that good, and boop, no more. I'm going to be in this field, and we're going to come to the bottom of this. My experience, although, you know, brief, has changed me, and then nothing. And then we had, what's her name, the singer, when she was singing the ghosts. Remember that? Will you come out and play? I don't think you can come this way. Remember that? Well, it gets a lot better. Wait a second. They removed it. Now, I don't even remember the person's name. Something like a John Voight type of thing. God dang it. All that buildup. Sal Paez, you know who that is, right? You've heard of Sal Paez? Pius? How do you say it? P-A-I-S. Says he's worried about the airship UFOs of the 80s. I'm sorry, the 1880s and the 1890s showing up and showing evidence of modern science he has developed himself. What? Did I read that right? That doesn't make any sense. Let me play this. Sal Pius. What a name. Look at him. What I'm worried about.
What I'm worried about is Walter Bosley, you know, the friend of Dr. Joseph Farrell.
Oh, yeah.
Walter Bosley, the whole idea of NIMSA. Who the fuck were these guys? The airship, quote unquote, mystery. What's going on here? Because that's around Heaviside Sign. That speaks to the Bible.
Yeah, but that's a really quick translation from physics to engineering. You think the 1890s airships?
There was some
terrestrial
engineering geniuses back there. Look at Nikola Tesla.
But that would just be wild. That's beyond belief to me.
What if it's all fucking connected?
Do you think it could all be human stuff from the 1890s on?
What I'm worried.
Why not? Why not? Pretty interesting. It could be the technology they created in the 1880s and 90s. See, and the reason that doesn't work, wait, hold on. Maybe it does. Maybe that's why they want us to think it's alien. Because it's so freaking advanced. Well, you know, they took Tesla's stuff when he died. They took everything. Now, that was after the turn of the century, 1910s. This is 25, 30 years before his death, when he was 50. 45, 50 years old, Tesla. I almost said Hitler. With, what's his name? Einstein. That must have been the technological age back then. Maybe something happened and the technology worked. but it works so good that maybe it created another reality or a wormhole. I don't know. Or it's dangerous and there's no way to control it. So they couldn't bring that out to the public because people would fuck with, like free energy is not having any wires, right? Isn't that what free energy is? It's like it's free, but free energy is where there's no whatever comes out the back ass, like, right? There's no, what do you call that? Pollution, right? That's what it is. It's clean. That's free energy. But from what I remember reading about Tesla, is if they were to make telephones, how do telephones work long distance? They would be using like a Wi-Fi, right? Sort of technology then, but they didn't have satellites back then. That wasn't a thing. So all this would have to be done on the ground with very tall towers that can throw energy great distances. And people want to see what it looks like when you throw rocks at it or shoot it or whatever, right? People will test it, the infrastructure. It's probably very, very dangerous. That's what I heard. I don't know. But I also heard the Rockefellers came up, right? Didn't that the guy who came up with another way to do, that's the electricity we use today, like AC/DC. Who made who? I don't know, but they shook me all night long. I could do a whole show based on AC/DC songs. That'd be fun. But Salvatore Pais has an interesting little thought here, but I don't think that could be. I don't think that's the truth. But I don't know. See, this is another one of those things where I don't know. And this is where we have to get him on for an interview. That's all. It's interesting. What are you guys saying? That's Nikola Tesla AC current. Oh, okay, Sky Allen. I knew it was something like that. Lee Bembry says spiritual, man-made, and unexplained. Let's see. Henry Sterling, Green. I know it doesn't show up on my end, but I think you want to say Tesla wanted to give everyone free power. Yeah. Oh, right. That's true. Yeah. He wanted everybody to have free electricity with his free energy source. Maybe. I don't know, but. Oh, I'm no grifter. That's for, you know what a grifter is, right? Somebody who's in it for the money. Let's take a look at what grifting means. Grifter, a person who engages in petty or small-scale swindling. I don't have any scale. So, nope, not here. Tesla was so smart, I bet he hid his real stuff and left a bunch of fake stuff for the government to take. I didn't even think of that. That is hopeful. I don't know if he was thinking that far ahead. Oh my God. Can you imagine if that's true? I don't think it is, though. God, I wish he did do that. Some good thoughts there, the FAP. I don't know, but what if he did? It's out there then. Somebody's playing with it, right? Because that's why he would have done that if he did. Freaking A, man. That's crazy thinking. What? Wait, what? Free energy? Where's that grifter? Now, Ashton Forbes is a grifter. Hell yeah. He's working on MH3, what is it? ML370? Everybody knows bullshit what he's talking about, yet he's still trying to get clicks, views, and making whatever money. Follow the money, Lee Bembry says. Not that hard. Reality is so much stranger than Bollywood. Yeah, for sure. But you know what's stranger than that? Reality. Oh, you said that. Okay. I always say reality stranger than fiction. Reality is strange. See, my thing is, I don't think people need to lie. Your stories are phenomenal. Just tell us what happened. Well, I don't think it's exciting, you know. It is. Reality is exciting. When you guys lie, we know it when you tell your stories. All right, let's move along. Everybody lies. Nobody tells the truth, yet everybody knows nothing and nobody knows everything. The UFO phenomenon has a hive mind, says Red Panda Koala on X. They potentially don't have souls. They are like clones. Now, let me show you who he's talking about here. He's talking about these guys. He's talking about these pricks. They worship their own technology. Boop. They feed off fear and negativity. Negativity. Tom DeLonge says UFOs have a hive mind and also says they intentionally leave UFOs for humans to reverse engineer. So, technologies that suppress our consciousness. They leave UFOs for humans to reverse engineer technologies that suppress our consciousness. What? So the aliens leave UFOs behind so we can reverse engineer it and suppress our consciousness? Does that make sense to anyone?
Like the damn movie Avatar, things alive. The whole planet's alive and all the trees are connected. Remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
It's that kind of thing.
Sure.
It really is that kind of thing. Do you know they studied depression on people that walked out of Avatar because people were so inspired, and then they walked out and they were in just like a bad little parking lot with oil stains and realized that their Earth isn't connected because it's supposed to be. Our Earth is, and we're supposed to sense that. But I'm so stoked on the fact that I have a thumbprint in slow motion on my iPhone that I don't really stop and notice,
Right.
And frankly, I'm as bad as everyone else. I'm not saying I'm just telling you I know what the hell is going on because I'm being briefed on it.
No, you don't.
And they're trying to figure out, how do we do this? How do we snap out of this?
God. What a whack job. Doesn't he realize that they are using him to spread disinformation? God almighty. The blind leading the Helen Kellers. Poor Helen Keller. Hey, for those of you who weren't here yesterday, I played this clip of Billy Carson ending his career. Just wanted to bring it back up since we're going to get into the karma now for 5 minutes. Billy Carson is not the most honest person on the planet. Billy Carson says what he thinks you will believe. Billy Carson, I gave him a chance for the first time, and he disappointed. Not immediately. But I gave him a chance because why not? Why not? I never met the guy, never did anything to me, yet we've heard all sorts of stories about this guy. How he's a grifter, how he lies, how he's only in it for the money. I'm afraid he is. All of the above. I'm afraid I was just proven wrong or right that Billy Carson really was faking it the whole time. Because when Billy Carson goes on a podcast and meets an expert that knows more than him, and then what he does after he gets pounded on social media, he does something that should end his career.
Carson thinks he's an expert on biblical manuscripts.
Guess what, guys? I'm one of the foremost world leader in the knowledge on ancient texts and tablets, scriptures, papyruses, and cylinders.
But after losing a career-ending debate against an actual biblical scholar,
On the text where I was referencing, actually, I misquoted there. It's the Gospel of Barnabas.
The Gospel of Barnabas is a really interesting document because it is a known forgery.
If you say it's a known forgery, yes, but I'm going to go with that. Let's talk about the Old Testament a little bit.
Billy was so embarrassed that he went to the podcast host's house at 2:30 a.m. to demand him not to release the debate.
You freaked out so much that you were knocking at my client's door at 2:30 a.m. in the morning.
And now he's suing people in an attempt to silence them.
Billy's trying to sue me because I
That's
got
the
him
Billy
on a
Carson way.
podcast.
That's
Apparently,
what he's known
Billy doesn't
for.
know about the Streisand effect.
Because a lot of these people are just ignorant, poor people. I'm not a Joe Schmo 9-to-5 worker bee, and these people are just poor dummies.
Subscribe for more shorts.
Poor dummies. These people. That means you and me. What you mean, these people? 2:30 in the morning. He's so worried. Why didn't the next second he make a video and say, look, I just had my ass handed to me, but I learned a lot. I had no idea I was wrong about this, and I am really happy I learned this. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if somebody actually said this? I'm glad I was wrong. I learned something today. Now I will never, ever misquote that again. That's what he should have done. But Billy Carson doesn't. What he really could have and should have done was make a video and say, I can't believe I was wrong, but I learned a lot. But this is why we have the conversation. And I want to thank whoever it was for enlightening me. So we learn every day. Thank you very much. And you guys have a great night. That's what he should have done. But no, he went nuts. Ding dong, 2:30 in the morning. Hey, you got to take that off. No, I can't. It's already edited. You take it off or I'm suing you. Sue me, sue you. I'm Billy Carson, damn it. Right. And nobody's going to know you after this. Anyway, that's what happened with BC. Oh, no. They removed another video. Gosh dang it. Mick West, what is he doing? Mick West says, I don't know, I may have talked about this. Says, go on then, disclose. What are you waiting for? He posts on X. This is the usual suspect saying the same things they've been saying for years, sometimes decades. Quit with the cool stories and spooky music. Just give us some actual data of something anomalous. That would be awesome. That's what Mick West said. That's what Mick West posted, but here's a clip that went along with it. I haven't even watched it.
See the truth.
Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe.
Humanity is not the only intelligent species.
We are absolutely not alone.
Non-human intelligence exists. UAPs are real, they're here, and they're not human. I spent 25 years as a senior official with the CIA.
I worked
and I turned into a basset hound.
on highly classified UAP program.
28 years as an astrophysicist.
I served as the 4th Director of National Intelligence.
Director of Aviation Security in the National Security Council.
A one-star admiral after 32 years of service.
People that come forward with this, I feel like they've taken their life in their own hands.
I was recruited to a highly sensitive government program that investigated unidentified aerial phenomenon.
What do you keep hearing in this video so far? What do you keep hearing? I've done this. I've done that. I'm this. I've been done. I'm a god. I've been in this for 15 years. I've been in for 17 years. So what? And where's the evidence? So what? I don't care. What they should be saying is, take a look at the evidence. take a look at my evidence. Watch this video.
For over 16 years, on behalf of the U.S. government, I worked as a senior intelligence official on the unidentified aerial phenomenon topic.
We learned that the U.S. government
The senior unintelligence
was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans.
I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
It's rotating. There's a whole fleet of them.
The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of a U.S.
Why do people think if you're going, what technology would come out of back engineering an alien craft? Guys, this should be the 800-pound elephant question in the room. Huh? This should be the question. You back engineer a craft. What technology comes out of that, they're telling us, will change the world. How do they know? You know what I mean? What if they back engineer it and it doesn't do anything they thought it would? What if it just turned on the light? You back engineered for 70 years. Look what you did. You turned the light bulb on in the ship. We didn't even know that light bulb was there. It's embedded in it. No, I don't know. But they don't even know what kind. Nobody questions that. Oh, once we back engineer it, we got this technology that's gonna, free energy. What? Why do you think that's what you really believe we're gonna get free energy out of that? Out of an egg shape? If an egg can fly, what type of technology is making it fly, Rich? Exactly. And they think that if they could back engineer that, that's going to change the world. I don't know what to say anymore. It doesn't make sense at all. It's hopeful. That is hopeful. That is hopefulness. We're going to back engineer alien technology and we're going to get clean energy for ourselves. How? What if you back engineer just the way the ship smells, or maybe the way the ship eliminates its waste? You don't know even what you're back engineering. You're back engineering the propulsion. How do you know? Because I don't see how you know. Well, when we go in this area, we feel a vibration, okay? And then it moves a little bit, so we assume that's, you assume, okay. What if it's just a hovering device? See, there's so many problems with them saying back engineering equates to free energy. I'll take it a step further. Greer thinks back engineering is going to regrow an arm. If we could back engineer this technology, like we've seen with Lockheed Martin, where we've seen, he didn't say that. The idea is we could grow an arm back, is what he's basically saying. We have the technology that can grow a limb, something like that. Right. And how does that equate to free energy? Come on. Come on. They're not realistic. They're very hopeful. And they're lying. Not only are they lying, they're lying to themselves and the American people. We're in weird times right now, folks.
UAP task force.
You think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of domination?
This is similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
This is so secret. Very, very few people in our entire government have been allowed access to it.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis. But that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
You better be careful about a government that doesn't trust its people, because there's no telling what they'll pull on you.
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
You had information being locked away that could change.
Did you see how they're talking? Elizondo does this. They all do this. Right? You didn't notice? Watch.
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for species.
It has so many beneficial impacts, including clean energy.
We should have disclosure today. We should have disclosure tomorrow. The time has come.
What else you want to know?
Turd burglar. So much fun, isn't it? It is fun. It's fun. Oh, I've been holding on to this video for a week. It's from Insurrection Barbie. These are facts in this video, and I'm not sure why people want to pay taxes and get nothing in return. Absolutely nothing from their government, but it's baffling to this person. So let's see why I've been holding on to this for a week.
2 years ago, Hurricane Ian demolished Southwest Florida. Immediately after the hurricane, everybody on the news was saying to rebuild the Sanibel Causeway, which is about 4 miles, was going to take 3 years. That's what everybody was saying. DeSantis basically had it rebuilt in a month because he brought all the best contractors down. He took everybody to the bridge and basically said, what do we need to do? We gave him our recommendations and he started making it happen the next day. That's proper, competent governance. We're just so not used to that. We're used to what you fled in California, an ever-growing state that taxes endlessly and punishes people for success. And then it's like, how is it that I have nice, clean roads in Florida? How is it that we don't have homeless people? Why do things work with no income tax in Florida? And why does Cali tax the high hell out of you and have much worse services and much worse infrastructure and a whole series of other problems? So the government shouldn't do much. Everything should be dealt with at the state and local level. And then the federal government should have a couple things that they're supposed to do. So that would be border, make sure the states aren't warring with each other, interstate commerce, foreign policy. I would say the founders basically got it completely right.
I don't know what I was thinking. But what I think I was showing you was the way this last administration that was here the last 4 years reallocated funds to other stuff. And I don't know where I was last week when I put that in there. Corbell says the hearings were managed. Have you heard this? He says it was a setup. What happened to him? He didn't get credit for that report. Wah, wah, wah. He's still bitching about it. This was yesterday. It was a setup. I'm very concerned that people are being put into positions of authority so they can shape the narrative. Oh my God! You're part of the problem, dude. You are part of that problem. You're involved with that narrative. He is trying to make it seem like he's not part of it. This is very smart. This is how you try to trick people into thinking you don't like the government either. They love the government. This all they want, all Corbell wants is a socialistic way of living. He loves that way of thinking. And he wants it here in ufology. And he'll do everything he can. And he says the second UFO hearing was managed, which means it was set up, kind of, because people were controlling the UFO. He is part of it. If he doesn't realize that he's used or he's lying to himself and us, because we all know what Jeremy Corbell is. He is a disinfo agent, in my opinion. It's what I really believe it. And I'll say it again. I believe Jeremy Corbell is a disinfo agent. And the reason I think that, because every one of those sightings that he brought to the world were either debunked or misidentifications, whatever. But he was given video evidence of stuff that looked like it was a UFO. It probably fooled them at first, the government, probably fooled the pilots, right? And it probably fooled the people on the ground. But after a day of investigating, they found out it was flares or Chinese lanterns or satellites, whatever. But after a few days, they found out what it was and filed it away as identified. So now they need video evidence, but they can't show us real UFOs. What do we give the people? What? Hey, John, what was that sighting that fooled all of us, even the pilots? Yeah, let's give that to... Why don't we use that stuff and give that video evidence to the American people? They won't be able to figure it out. Oh, sure, they'll assume it's flares, because it is, but they'll assume it anyway. So why give them the real shit if we don't have to? If we gave them the real evidence, they're going to call it flares anyway. And we're not supposed to show evidence at all. So give them the flares. It looks exactly like the UFOs. That's what they did. And Jeremy Corbell is in on it. Whether he knows he's in on it or not, that's another question. I believe he knows he's being used, but it was never discussed, and he doesn't care. I don't know if he's getting paid for this, but I think he's probably getting paid. But this is all my opinion, because it doesn't make sense that a guy like Corbell with connections through NAP, who knows a lot of people, would get evidence that really isn't real. The whole thing sucks. And kind of feel bad for Jeremy. You know? Because look at it this way. Maybe he went in there with all the right intentions, you know? I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to go through the right channels. I'm going to talk to the right people. I'm going to do an honest day's work. I'm going to do it the right way. And when you get screwed and the government uses you and now you look like a fool, maybe Jeremy's still playing the part, just not caring anymore. Well, if they're going to use me that way, better me than somebody else, because if they want to try to pull some shit off that even I don't think should be given to the public, at least I can stop it from going public, at least to the best of my ability. Maybe that's what he thinks. Maybe he thinks he's policing to some degree. But that doesn't make sense. And if something doesn't make sense, most likely it's not right. It is weird that he thinks this, though. Oops. I thought I pressed play on your end. Whoa, what's going on? It's twice it fell off. There it goes. All right, we've got a big delay here. Let me see some. Okay, it's back.
There are some shenanigans, and they're very disturbing to me. Like, having experienced it, I am concerned that the UAP truth has been controlled for so long, and now we're at a point where we're admitting it. You can't take back that David Grusch testified. You can't take back that Commander Fravor testified under oath in front of the American public. But that was a sneak attack. This hearing was not. It was controlled. It was managed. It was a setup in some ways. And it's not all bad. But why I'm concerned is because if you have something that's out of control, we now know UFOs are real, they're here, a lot of questions coming, then what you want to do is shape it. You want to control it. I am very concerned that people are being put into position of authority so that they can shape the narrative again.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. Everything he's talking about is exactly what happened the last couple of years. They groomed the next person to come out and be the guy. Jeremy, you're talking about yourself. You were that guy once. Now we see Fat Mord. We see a couple other guys, can't remember their names, now given the torch, for lack of a better term, really. The people that are given this opportunity don't know shit about ufology, UFOs, how to debunk. They don't know jack squat. It's embarrassing. That's why I can't stand ufology when they do this. And Jeremy's talking like, oh yeah, this is something I just noticed. No, it's been going on from day one. And I mean day one, 70 years ago.
And that is really my biggest gripe. If people watch this series, they can judge for themselves. But that is my concern. I'll be very clear about it. All the king's horses and all the king's men are shaping the UAP narrative again.
Can't believe what I just heard. He's part of the problem. It's funny. And this is what you do when you try to take the pressure off yourself. This is what you do. You call everybody. This is what the left did to Trump. And this is what the left is doing again to ufology. Jeremy's on that side of ufology, as you know. Lives in California. Jesus Christ. Headquarters for shillinish. But he is telling us what they did for the last 8 years. Jeremy, according to Glenn Collins here, thanks Glenn, Jeremy Corbell was pissed off because they lied. Congress has lied about the UFOs and drones. That's why he is pissed. And would too. Even George Knapp got scammed by the high Congress. Really? Really? I don't know why Jeremy Corbell would be this pissed off. I don't think it's this. He's pissed off because about not the drones, but I think they'd be pissed off about lying about the UFOs. Of course. He's pissed off because he thinks he was just screwed over. And he wasn't. He created all of this out of his imagination, his perceived reality. We all saw what happened. We know he gave the names to Schlesinger, whatever his name is, and then he gave it to Mace, and then Mace says, yeah, I was just given this by Schlesinger, not knowing who's the creator of it, just said this was handed to me, not created by. It was just handed to me. So you can't have a valid argument about this because what Jeremy saw didn't happen. So everything else that comes after doesn't mean anything because it's a lie. It's not real. George Knapp got scammed by the high Congress? I'm not sure. It's still You're still right. Either way, they got screwed. One way or another, they got screwed whether it was intentional or not. I think that's where we're at. But that's not the same as intentional, because I don't think it was intentional. All right, let me pull up the next thing here. Where is it? All right, hold on. Whoa. Let's see here. Come on. It's not playing. Hold on. I'm looking for this. Okay, here we go. This is from Weaponized, just number 65, just recent. This is interesting.
Contacts of mine and George's have said to us that they proved to us that objects have come out of the water that are pyramid shaped that hover over nuclear facilities. It's insane. I don't know what our government is going to say. I don't know what our president is going to say. I don't know anything. But bottom line is, you've been told that something weird is going on, but you have not been given an answer for it. You deserve an answer. Like there's your government is supposed to represent you. So I don't know what's going to happen with this UAP drone thing, but you all know it's weird, right? Yeah.
It's like UFOlogy 101. 90 to 95% of everything that's reported is explainable in prosaic terms. That's just the basic
99%.
And I think that's true for these drones as well. Every single day, if you follow Twitter or Facebook, and the emails I get are hundreds and hundreds of videos and images that people have collected. Oh gosh, there's a UFO drone, mystery drone. And most of them, I'm not an image analyst. I don't pretend to have any expertise, but we've been around the topic long enough that we can scratch some things off the list. And they look like airplanes to me. A lot of the things that people are saying are mystery drones. And then some of them look like drones. A lot of them are just blobs in the sky moving around. You can't tell what they are. But the reports that we've had from credible people of them over nuclear plants and over missile bases, military bases. Langley, 17 days in a row last year. Then the 3 bases in the UK, very sensitive installations. These things come from nowhere. You can't track them. You don't see them coming in. They disappear to nowhere. You can't track them to see where they go. That's a big, serious matter. They don't have to be alien to be frightening. Imagine if the Chinese actually do have drones that do this, that can hover over our sensitive installations, and there's not a damn thing we could do about it. We have pretty good information from the UK bases that they tried to take them down. They used EMP and our most sophisticated anti-drone tech, and it did nothing.
And yet nobody brings up the fact how over the last 25 to 30 years, China purchased a lot of land in these areas around the military installations. And now we're seeing the drone incursion like we've never seen it before from the same places where China came in and bought up a lot of the land to move in right next door to the military and watch all day long what we do. And then when they have kids, their kids join our military. And you know what they do at 18 years old and their parents are only 40? They tell them everything. Mama, today we are going to make believe we are and we're going to do it with this new craft. Nobody knows about it, Mama. Right? They just bought the land, settled in. They're playing the long game. And the jig is up. It's China living in here doing the drone incursions. This is karma, Kramer. This is karma on America. Yeah, it's the worst. Now, I didn't think I would have to go into a deep discussion about karma. I think you all know what karma is, why it happens, and we kind of see how it's happened to certain people in this field. Billy Carson, we started off tonight talking about how Billy Carson got caramelized because of his actions. Not a very honest guy. Karma took care of that shit. Lickety split. Right? Greer? I think Greer's had his share of bad things happening to him. But Greer does some incredible bad lying. And not only does he lie to us, he lies to everybody. Everybody. You got to. Because he likes the challenge. See, life isn't challenging to Greer. Greer needs to be the best at everything. And that is even lying and trying to get away with it just to see if he can. Wouldn't it be sad if this was one of those things? Just to see if he can get people to believe he can get us disclosure. Just because he thinks he can play God with ufology. He has. People bought into it. And he really is. I think he's the most lucrative thing in ufology. Next to, I guess if Elizondo decides to make a documentary, it might do good, it might not. I don't know. All I know is everything Lou Elizondo touches turns to shit. Do we need to go over the things that he touched? TTSA? Shit. The TV show, Unidentified. Shit. Everything else, shit. Ufology? Boop. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be me. I really don't. I want positivity in this field. I really do. You guys, you must know this. I don't look for the negative stuff. I really don't. I look for what people are doing. And a lot of it seems sketchy. Doesn't make sense. How anyone, and I look, I don't know, how anyone can believe that David Grusch is a true whistleblower. I don't know how you would believe that. He's not even firsthand. To be a whistleblower, in my opinion, I think you have to be firsthand account. Let's take a look. What is a whistleblower? What is a true whistleblower? Here we go. Did you mean grifter? No. Oh, it was still on grift. Okay. What is a true whistleblower? Here we go. All right. What qualifies as a whistleblower? A whistleblower is any individual who provides the right information to the right people. Stated differently, lawful whistleblowing occurs when an individual provides information that they reasonably believe evidences wrongdoing to an authorized recipient. What are the three types of whistleblowing? Criminal offense, for example, fraud. Someone's health and safety is in danger. Risk or actual damage to the environment. Or, a miscarriage of justice. What makes a whistleblower credible? Stick to the facts. Don't embellish. Your credibility is your greatest asset and key to building solidarity. When making a disclosure, stick to information that you know to be sound and reliable, whether you obtained it firsthand or from a credible source. If in doubt, understate rather than risk exaggerating. What evidence is needed for whistleblowing? The complainant and the respondent should keep any potential evidence regarding the circumstances of the allegations, including all pertinent emails, letters, notes, text messages, voicemails, phone logs, personal files, contracts, work products, and meeting minutes. What cannot be a whistleblower? People are not usually protected in law if they're genuinely self-employed. A volunteer with no enforceable employment contract, a non-executive director. What is not considered whistleblowing? A disclosure of waste, fraud, or abuse that includes classified information is not a protected disclosure under the whistleblower laws unless the disclosure is made in accordance with the laws and rules that govern the proper handling and transmission of classified information. Can you be fired for whistleblowing? You are protected from retaliation for reporting issues relating to employee safety, consumer product and food safety, environmental protection, fraud and financial issues, health insurance, and transportation services. In the long, no. Can you sue a whistleblower? Civil lawsuits by corporations stemming from dismissed False Claims Act cases are rare. What are the disadvantages of whistleblowing? You could lose your career, face public smear campaigns, and experience severe psychological trauma. Who is an eligible whistleblower? Eligible whistleblowers, an individual or an employee of a person that supplies services or goods to the entity, including volunteers, an individual who is an associate of the entity, a relative or dependent of any of the above, or a dependent of the spouse or any of the above. What if a whistleblower is lying? They do not protect individuals who submit false information out of malice. What is the burden of proof for whistleblower protection? The complaining employee or applicant has the burden of proving by a preponderance of the evidence that whistleblowing was a contributing factor in the improper personnel action taken against him or her. All right. And that's it for tonight. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. I want to thank all the supporters, moderators, super chatters. Thank you for help supporting. Please, if you find it in your heart, help. All right. Thanks, everybody. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. And a little bit later tonight, probably tomorrow, maybe there's going to be something for the members. Since we didn't do a member show, it's okay. We don't have to do a member show all the time. I needed a day. No, I slept. I slept through the whole day. But I want to thank Truthology for UFOlogy. We do it for you. Didn't I do a Rich Saves America show? I thought I did that Saturday. Didn't I? I don't know. All right. Hey, and also be good to each other out there. All right. Life is short. It is. It goes by like that. Yep. And if you ain't looking up, what did I forget? Truthology for you. We just did that. And if you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out. Alien bless yous.
once treasured sites in Christianity.
There's a new bit of this something making proof for not alone in the universe. UFO in the form of a bright light descending over the dome of the rock of Jerusalem.
I think there was something else I wanted to do. Wasn't there? Something else that I needed to do. There was something I had to play. Give me a second. I'm pretty sure there was something that I needed to do tonight on this show. Is this it? Let's see. Huh. I don't know where it went. All right, let me see. Maybe. Hold on. Maybe it's here. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Hold on. Here we go. Is it this? No. Can't show that. There's something somewhere that I wanted to show you. I don't know why it's not here. It's not showing up, my dear. All I know. What is this? Oh. Huh. I don't know. You feeling some kind of way? I don't know, everybody. I don't know where it is. What is this? I don't know, guys. But I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. It was fun. Is this it? Let me see. Past? Hold on. Maybe this is it. This is from last night's show, I said. Oh, you guys can't hear this. That's right. Okay. Can't do it. Have a good night. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I can't get it to work.